Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. And today's episode is episode number 7 of season 2. And we are talking about a new rhythm. A new rhythm, my sisters, my gorgeous sisters. How are you? I hope you are breathing and feeling and staying connected to yourself and your center and flowing from within your gorgeous feminine energy, which of course is the energy through which your light flows. So from here, let's dive in. A new rhythm. This is a bit of a continuation to last week's episode on the flow, how to flow, because there seems to be some more confusion on the flow itself and how to get there and how do I know it's my flow and how do I get there, right? It's how do I know and how do I get there? How do I know and how do I get there? Well, let's begin by saying this. You, the soul that you are, the individual, unique being that you are, you have your own timing. You have your own purpose. You have your own path. You are here on your own healing journey. You have your own karma. You have your own intentions for this incarnation, right? You, the soul that you are unique, very unique, just like a snowflake. And with this uniqueness, of course, comes your very personal soul rhythm. And this rhythm is you. And only you can have your rhythm. Only you have the colors of your vibration. Only you have the colors of gifts and abilities and talents that are a part of you, right? Every goddess is different. Every goddess is unique. However, no goddess rushes. No goddess overthinks, overschedules, overdoes, pushes, forces, controls. Right? That's all the old paradigm and that's all the stuff that takes us out of the flow and keeps us away from our flow and our own sense of timing, our own rhythm. And so surely you have heard that saying, dance to the beat of your own drum. And that's exactly what this is about. It's about you getting into your own beat. Find your different rhythm. Tune into this different beat, this different rhythm that you haven't really, maybe not all of you, but since there seems to be quite a bit of confusion still around it, that must mean you're not yet fully anchored, yet not fully comfortable in your own soul rhythm, in your own timing, in your own soul vibration. And from here, let's go ahead and let's talk about what it is not, which helps to then get clearer on your own rhythm, right? We need to take out what it is not. We need to eliminate what it is not. So go ahead and come into the breath and join me in your breath. Nice, deep, slow, conscious in and exhales. So here in this space, right, you are now fully present to yourself through the use of your breath. This is mandatory. This is the basics. You have got to be in your conscious in and exhale. Slow, deep, controlled breath. And this keeps you present because it's not about leaving the body. It's not about spacing out. It's about being very present and fully grounded and present to yourself. Because only when you are fully grounded and present to yourself can you connect to your inner beat, to the rhythm, this different rhythm that you want to get to know, that is your flow. And so from here, as you're relaxing into your breath, know that you are not your thoughts. And it is your thoughts, your perceptions, your stories, your inner voices, the monologue that you have with yourself. And maybe in your head you fight with yourself or you fight with others. Maybe you argue with yourself or you argue with others. Or you project into the future of certain ways in which you will speak or behave or receive attention, or how things may go. Maybe you still have a tendency to linger in the past and go over and over and over what was said and what was done and what you could have said differently, what you could have done differently. So wherever you at, all of it needs to go. None of it is your soul. None of it is supportive of your deep inner connection and flow. It's all just junk mail. It's all just junk thinking. That's really how you have to think of it. It's junk. None of it is supportive. None of it is serving your flow. If it's constructive, if it is constructive thinking about something that just happened, and you're really looking at it with an objective perspective where you're wanting to see, how did I do? Could I have done a little bit better? Well, maybe I shouldn't have gone into that, saying all this. Maybe I should have just stayed calm and listened, right? So yes, if it's self-observation and if it is productive, and then you use the information that you get out of this mental exercise and use it and be in that change in the next moment, in the next time, then yes, great, absolutely. That's a sign of mastery. Now you're using your brain correctly. But there is such a thing as junk thinking and using the brain incorrectly. And so this incorrect way of thinking has got to go. You have to master your mind. You must discern the thoughts that are not supportive of your flow, your center, your grounding, your light, your empowerment, your worth, right? All of the thoughts that take you into a lower vibration. You got to just breathe away from them over and over and over again. Because they take you out of your flow. They will tighten your energy. They will close your flow. Now, from here, as you're breathing and feeling, know that this inner rhythm, right, this inner beat and timing of you communicates to you through a feeling/knowing language. So for some of us, it's different things at different times. Sometimes you may have a strong feeling on what to do or not to do, where to go or not to go, what you would like to do or not to do. Other times, it's a knowing. It's a knowing in regard to a choice. It's a knowing in regard to an action. It's a knowing. So feeling, knowing, sensing, yes, reading energy, all of this is the communication that you use through the feminine energy to be in connection, in alignment with your soul, with your light self. It has nothing to do with thinking. You will bring the thinking back in later on when you're more secure and more comfortable and steady in your rhythm, in your timing, in this inner communication with your soul, which is your flow. From there, you will use the thinking very consciously and productively and supportively, right? But you really need to understand that this is about you. You got to retrain your brain. There is no way around it. Here we are in the breath. Nice, deep, slow, conscious in and exhales away from the thoughts, in the breath, in the feeling, opening into your knowing, opening into yourself. And so from here, let's keep taking out what it is not. It is not procrastination. So when you're, for example, feeling that, oh, I really, really, really want to take a little sun bath before I record my podcast, the way I just did. I really felt the need to sunbathe, and I do it very consciously and very selectively in the healthy time of the day. I cover my face and my neck and my chest, and it replenishes me. It recharges me. Being in the sun, laying down 15 minutes front, 15 minutes back is like, it's a recharge for me personally. And so I needed that because I felt a bit fatigued today. I woke up feeling a bit fatigued, even though I had a fantastic good night's sleep last night. But that's also because, lots of energies are moving through and lots of higher frequencies are coming in. So we're going through tremendous change and growth and transformation for the next decades to come. Yes. So this is another reason why we must really get in tune with ourselves, our own rhythm, our own soul, our own needs, our own timing. And we must learn to put ourselves first, our well-being, so that we feel good, so we feel energized. And so I felt this, oh, I gotta get this podcast done. Oh, it's already getting late. It's already, it's already 3:00. Oh, I should really get to it. And that was my thinking, right? That was my ego. That was my responsible voice. That is not me. It's just conditioning, right? It's just thinking. And then I felt I really want to go lay in the sun though first. I really want to go recharge and just decompress a little bit, because I had a very busy long week with clients, and I'm going to feel so much better afterwards. And this was a feeling. This is not a thinking. This is a feeling, knowing. And even though I postponed sitting down and recording this podcast for about an hour, it was not procrastination. Because procrastination is a different feeling, right? See, you have to get used to what these energies feel like. Procrastination is putting something off. And putting it off in and of itself doesn't feel good. It's making excuses. It's beating around the bush. It's finding other things to do instead. And it never really feels really good. So that's procrastination. And procrastination has a very different feeling. It doesn't feel as good. It doesn't feel as self-honoring, because it is an avoidance technique, right? So it's very important to learn what these different parts of us feel like. And so I knew and I felt that, yes, this is what I needed. And in order for me to deliver the best podcast for you today, I chose to give that to myself, to lay down and recharge and decompress from the week. And then I would get to this podcast and It was not procrastination. So procrastination has to go. And you need to learn the difference between your voice of procrastination and inner feeling, knowing guidance. Sabotage. Self-sabotage. Another voice that needs to go. And when I say it needs to go, it really means we need to learn these different parts of ourselves, and we need to learn to work with them. We need to learn to heal them. Yes, we need to learn to not let them get into the way. We need to let them not have a big voice, a big say in the choices. And this is a practice in and of itself, right? But so sabotage is another energy that it can be very delusional, right? So sabotage can be something that's subconscious that happens, right? So self-sabotage or sabotage of a relationship or sabotage of a project, sabotage that gets in the way of the good. It's old lack, it's old limitation, it's old fears, it's old wounding. And sabotage is probably one of the most subconscious energies that arise. And when the self-sabotage or the sabotage of a relationship or an endeavor happens in the moment, oftentimes it's hard to recognize it. It is only through the self-observation that we stay very clear and very observing of self, and we get to know ourselves, right? And we see and sense and feel what we did that sabotaged. So a very simple example is to want to run, is to want to break up just because it's just not feeling good and I'm not getting my needs met and I'm not getting what I want and what I deserve, so I'm just going to go. That's it. That is a form of sabotage. Always being late is a form of sabotage. Flirting in front of the partner to get more attention from the partner, but really harming the trust is a form of sabotage. Right? There are so many ways in which we sabotage, and all of us have different ways that we have patterned to. Sabotage is something to really pay attention to. You must dive into that, recognize the behavior, recognize the pattern, and dive into it, breathe into it, really call your subconscious in to help you see, sense, feel, know where this was created, where was this put into place, so you can go back and heal it and shift the perception, shift the experience for yourself. Yes? So sabotage has to go. Ego has to go. Ego has to go. That could be, for example, so here I am sitting down wanting to get going on this podcast today, and the inner voice of the ego says, well, remember, you have to do it in such a way, and maybe why didn't you do video today? And well, remember, you had also said that you wanted to do another activation, and so you're not doing that either, and why haven't you? And so it's this, the pressure, the judgment, the voice that heightens the stakes. And again, ego shows up in different ways at different times for all of us, right? Ego has its entry into all aspects of us, and that is something that we all must learn as well. We have to learn our ego voice. We have to get to know our ego voice. We have to learn ourselves to the deepest levels. And so ego has to go as well. So before I sat down, I grounded myself. I called in Mother Goddess. And I gave myself to her. I gave myself to this mission, to this purpose. Use me as your vessel. Use me as your instrument. I am here to be of service. I'm here to be of service to the light, to the goddess embodiment, and the feminine energy within. And so once I sat and grounded and cleared myself into this receptivity, all ego was gone. And then, last but never least, the resistance has to go. Now, one could say that resistance is a part of procrastination, a part of sabotage, and a part of ego. And yes, to a certain degree, yes, but there are nuances, there are layers, there are levels to everything, and everything is a part of everything, right? But resistance in and of itself also has to do with old wounding, sometimes ego fears, sometimes, but it also could be a way in which it is a resistance to the new. It is a resistance to the new, the timing, to the new beats, right? Because getting to know the new and the new ways. Remember, resistance is built in. Fear and doubt are built in. And so as soon as we try something new or do something new or commit to something new, that is a guarantee for that to show up. And so know that and be prepared for that. And then you are the one in charge. You are the boss of you, and you get to say, okay, fear, I hear you. Thank you very much. I hear you, doubt. Thank you very much. But don't feed into it. Don't fortify it. Don't think into it and get all caught up in that, oh, is this fear telling me that's something that's important? Is this fear telling me that I should not do it? Is this doubt true? No. Again, it's just thinking. It's just old patterning. It's part of the ego, yes. But it's also a part of the resistance to change, the resistance to the new, the resistance to the unknown, the resistance to being in a new way, in that inner beat, in that new rhythm and different experience within yourself, because it's still unknown. And so when this fear and doubt shows up, or even a little bit of anxiety, you just breathe away from it. Breathe it through. Recognize it, of course. Don't ignore it, right? Nothing that is being ignored or pushed down or shoved underneath the rug is going to go away. So we must also stay in front of all of these parts of us that come up. We must stay in front of it and face it and deal with it head on, so we can clear so much faster, right? Because when this then fear or doubt or slight anxiety of the resistance is addressed and breathed loose and free and out, it is also a sense of accomplishment. It's also a sense of you're owning your space. You are owning your energy. You are owning this vessel that is here to house your light. And the more that you own it, the more that you stay in front of it, the more that you take out any and all of the things that do get in the way of your flow, that do get in the way of your inner beat and hearing it and feeling it, the more empowered you become, the stronger you grow, much faster, much quicker, because you are taking charge, because you're the one making the room, making the space for yourself. And then once these things are eliminated, once these things are taken out of the way, from here, it's really all about you slowing down so that you can hear yourself. Again, breathing away from the thoughts, Slowing down on the inside, slowing down your movements even. Don't be so fast. When you catch yourself rushing, slow yourself down. It's just another pattern. It's just another way, in like the way that thinking is in the way. That's how rushing is in the way as well, right? Don't rush. Don't look to control. Don't look to force anything. Notice yourself when you're rushing, maybe when you're doing the dishes or when you're driving, or, just as you're generally rushing through the day, notice it. It doesn't mean you're not going to get things done. There is really not much of a difference in terms of timing. And really what you're doing is you're slowing yourself down on the inside. And so maybe, let's say the example is doing the dishes and you're used to doing it very fast. And so in the past, maybe you were able to get the dishes done in 5 minutes. And now in the new way, where you're slowed and in your breath and you're grounded and much more present, you're getting it done in 4.5 minutes. The difference in time is minute. Don't be fooled when you're rushing, when you're driving fast, when you're driving 40 instead of 32. The difference in time when you arrive at the destination is minute, maybe a minute and a half, that's it. It's not worth it. It's an illusion. It's part of what has to go. When you're slowed on the inside, when you're staying in your breath and you're conscious in an exhale, in your center, in your grounding, you are building your light, you're building your empowerment, your authority within yourself. You are choosing to connect more deeply. And when you do that, when you're creating that space, when you're choosing to be present to yourself, you will feel and know this inner timing of yourself, this inner rhythm of yourself, this beat. And you will feel what feels good. And when it feels good, that's what's next. Because this is your journey. And this is you, your path as the goddess that you are. And guess what? You're here to fill your own cup first. You're here to please yourself. Not from procrastination or sabotage or ego or resistance or rushing. No, that's all masculine energy. No. You're here to enjoy your journey. Most and foremost, you're here to create the space to feel good within, to care and love yourself within. And there are days when I don't have time to go sunbathe, but today I did. And so I gave that to myself and I enjoyed it to the fullest. And because I gave that to myself, because my feeling, knowing within was like, yeah, let's do that first. And as a result of it, I am able to share this example with you, and I'm feeling calm and grounded and light, embodied and one with Goddess. I am in her rhythm. I am in Goddess flow because I felt I wanted that and I gave it to myself. And even just the thought of it, the feeling of wanting to do that felt so positive, right? It felt so nurturing and yeah. And that is when you're in your flow. That is when you are in your own rhythm. The responsibilities don't always come first. Slacking off, of course, also doesn't come first. That's procrastination and resistance, right? So it's, again, getting to know the feeling, the knowing that feels consciously right and connected and from your inner within guidance for your own flow of what will nurture you, what will make you feel recharged, what will make you feel loved, what will bring you peace, what will get you back into your center, what will make you smile, what will open your heart, what will feel grounding and authentic to you. What is it that you really feel you want to do? What is it that you feel that is feeling good? This knowing, this feeling, the more that you listen to it, the more that you trust it, the more that you get to know it. And again, this is your unique relationship. This is your unique connection that only you can feel your way into, only you can get to know, only you can discover for yourself. And when you make that your focus, when you make that your paying attention to creating that space for your feminine energy, creating that space for your light flow, creating that space to be in your own timing, in your own rhythm, when that is your intention daily, you will get to know yourself to deeper levels very quickly. And you will get to know yourself and make it loving when you get to know yourself to deeper levels. Always be in love, always be in acceptance, working with, working through, healing, face on, staying in front of it, yes, but always with love. Because it's about integration. Remember, the feminine energy is the oneness, is the unity, is the embrace into oneness, into one love. And love heals. Only love heals. Good, my beautiful sisters. I hope this was helpful to you. And I thank you for your time and your energy and your light and your grace and your beauty, for your presence here on earth. And I am sending you love and light blessings to you and yours. Hugs and kisses. Ciao for now.